When you apply at Anglo American for business improvement, they actually want you to have industrial engineering. Most of the time, industrial engineers deal with optimization. You'll have to write your GCC, which is your government certificate of competency. If you have that electrical engineering or mechanical qualification, it basically gives you an advantage. Fellow miners, thank you again. My name is Mabushe. This is season 3, episode 2 of the Miners podcast. Today, my brother Tabisis Tolo, who is my co host, is not with me. So please bear with me. And as I'll be in other episodes, you might find myself or him. This is how we're going to run this episode. But before I can go into details, I just want to firstly make a shout out to Elbroc Mining, which is our season 3 sponsor or partner. Thank you guys for keeping us alive to have these conversations. So yeah, today I was going through our social media and I saw that we have a lot of questions that people are asking there in the DMs. You understand? So I'll keep on referencing from my phone just so that I get to answer the questions that I wrote down. So yeah, one question that I was asked, or it was a lady. Sorry, Mama, that I couldn't answer you on time. I just saw your question late, and here's the thing, ne? Now, guys, I don't know what if a company is changing its name or if a company is doing changes within its body, what happens? Do people get money and whatnot? Because the question was, she was asking that her husband was working at Anglo American. As you know, that I touched base on how Anglo American transitioned to now being Valterra Platinum. So she asked that, did her husband get money? Yeah, ladies with money. So she asked that. So for me, I'm not sure. But I don't think if a company changes a name or does any changes, they give people money. But I think most people in the comments will give you a better answer, especially people that work in the mine. So guys, yeah, Mugaya Anyoko from Sadi Chelete. So please answer her. And then another question, it was from someone who asked me about industrial engineering in relation to mining. So when you're involved in, for example, myself, I'm involved in drill and blast operations. So usually I don't really, I've never seen anyone from my experience with such a qualification, especially involved in drill and blast. But what I know is that they are mostly involved in terms of mining. I'm going to speak in terms of mining. For example, when you apply at Anglo American for business improvement, they actually want you to have industrial engineering, or if you apply for project management, because most of the time industrial engineers deal with optimization. So that's something that I know in relation to mining. But like I said, we're having a conversation. This is your podcast, miners. This is your podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So we can talk in the comments and yeah, just comment about that and help these people. Even if I don't answer certain questions within this podcast or whatever, I feel like you guys should answer each other within the comments to keep this conversation going about mining. And then, man, um, what is the difference between being an electrical engineer and mechanical engineer in mining? So, as you know, that to become an engineer, right? Firstly, I just want to deal with this. If you have that electrical engineering or mechanical qualification, it basically gives you an advantage that you might go higher faster because now you'll have to write your GCC, which is your government certificate of competency, right? I hope I'm right. So yeah, So basically, most of the time, what I heard is that I'm not an engineer, so I'm not in electrical or mechanical. But what I heard is that they said, am I right, sir? They said that about if you're an electrical engineer, when you're working with on the vertical shaft per se, if you're dealing with more than 2.5 kilowatts, then you work with on the vertical shaft. Less than that, you usually work on the horizontal shaft, which is mostly your locos and what, as you know, that they do not use so much electricity than your vertical systems, like your conveyance systems and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically the difference. And one thing that somebody said, he said basically mechanical engineers are junior engineers, and then electrical engineers are the real engineers. It's not me, it's people talking. So don't ban me, guys. Don't ban me. I don't know about those things. But yeah. And then now, can I work with a scheduled mines blasting in coal mines? The answer is, I think, it's no. Based on the fact that I feel like if you have your hard rock, as much as if you have mining experience, coal and hard rock mining is totally different. It's totally different. That side, they're dealing with a lot of flammable gases and what we still have them, but I feel like they have more gases. So, like, firstly, let's just address this, guys. Blasting certificate is not like your grade 12 certificate or like your certificate that you wrote online. I don't know if you get me. That thing is a legal document. It's basically a competency certificate. You understand? So you have to be competent. That is why you need even a letter of sobriety before you can go write it from your 3-1 to actually confirm that you're competent enough to actually go do blasting. You understand? So now, if you are in coal, there's no way you can come with that certificate and come and work in hard rock and vice versa and stuff like that. So if you go that side to convert and what you'll have to convert and probably start from the ground up. You understand? Because these are totally different type of minings or industries. But in terms of schedule mine for blasting, you can work in platinum, gold, chrome, all of that, except for also working surface mining. Because remember, there are 3 types of blasting certificates. I just thought about it now. There's one for surface, there's one for coal fire mines, and then there's one for schedule mines, which is hard rock mining. And then, yeah, the follow up question to that was who gets paid more? Who gets paid more? Where should I go? Should I go for hard rock or should I go for coal? The honest answer is that, as you know, I saw somewhere that our unemployment rate went up. So we're not, as fellow South Africans, unfortunately, we're not on the side of choosing. Just go to where you're given an opportunity. If you have a learnership in coal or in hard rock, take it. If you have a bazaar in coal and wara, just take it because we don't have the privilege of choosing, unfortunately, in South Africa now. But one thing that what I've learned or the research that I've done, I found that in coal, it's mostly specialists, right? They have general workers, they have wara, but it's a mostly specialist industry because they are more mechanized than our side. The reason why they are mechanized is because their coal seams are flattened and it's easy to mine them, it's easy to cut through them and stuff like that. So yeah, so basically, since they also does not it's not labor intensive, which means they hire few people, that means that there's more money and it's bulk mining. I mean, which means if, for example, coal is doing good, I mean, not in terms of market, but if like coal is demanded, as you know, like we are still using coal to make our electricity. So, which means obviously somehow they're gonna earn more. But there are some of people like real people that are making serious bank in the hard rock. So it's just a matter of what position you hold. But on average, coal guys are making bank. And then, but now the good part of going into rock is rock mining is that you'll have more opportunities because you have more field. You have gold, you have chrome, you have what is it? You have platinum, all those things. You have a variety, you have diamond. You can use that certificate or use that opportunity to actually get a job and stuff like that and still make bank. Yeah, and let me just check another question that was asked. So I was asked about I was asked about uh, which varsity should I go for if I want to do mining engineering? Like, should I go to UNISA? Should I go to Wits? Should I go to UP? Should I go to University of Johannesburg, UJ? Hello, UJ. Yeah, but yeah. So I was asked about that, and here's the thing: when you get into the industry, it doesn't really matter. I think the part that matters is when you go for international level because, as you know, that I think the UP guys are doing BEng, which is 4 years. So I think for them, since they are more about research internationally, I think they might be more recognized. And then while at VET is BSc or BEng also, I'm not sure, but 4 years also. And at UJ is BEng Tech, and then at UNISA is diploma and advanced diploma. So with VET is a little bit of both, which is your research and your technical part. And UJ is actually technical, more technical, meaning that they are more about what is happening in the industry on the ground. You understand? So, but what I was saying is that the argument of saying I'm from Vets, I'm from UJ, I'm from what, when you get in the industries in South Africa, that doesn't really matter. If we are in the same graduate program and we go to the shaft and wara will be treated the same. Even DMR, when you apply for those certificates, they don't say, nah, just because you're from UJ, we prefer you guys, wara. It's still the same. You're still gonna go through the same thing. You understand? So yeah, that's basically what is happening with these things. And then speaking of vets, man, did you know that vets actually met these milestones? That the first black person to graduate in mining engineering in South Africa comes from vets. The first black lady to graduate, woman, hello, women in mining, comes from vets. And then yeah, that's basically it. And then and the first female in mining comes from vets. So basically, shout out to vets for that. And yeah, so the first black man, the first black person to graduate in mining engineering, it was in 1986. Meanwhile, the first black lady, female, in mining she graduated in 2004. And then the first woman was in 1992. And then also, again, the people hold that hold doctorate, who are doctors in mining engineering, they also come from vets, I think. And then it's mentioned that the first black lady was actually, she got it in, was it 2011? Okay, she got it in 2022, sorry, in 2022, in December. It's Dr. I don't know her name, so I'll keep on reading the name. Odoa Isaka, and she serves as a unit manager for safety at South Deep. So shout out to her. This is Women Month, so I'll just have to give credit to these ladies. And then again, Dr. Ponzo Twala followed the following year, which PhD in mining engineering also. So yeah, shout out to these women. So I think I've touched a lot on this topic, and until we meet another time, thank you.